Okay, so as promised, it's getting really, really late tonight. I have to go and meet another student to help him with his crazy war on drugs paper tomorrow morning. So I will have to try and do a quick read, not the not the optimal, not the optimal well thought of reflectiveness of Catholicism, to be spiritual, the seriousness, your eternal soul to Heavenly Father. But like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night. I had to work until 4 till 7 or something to help the student out. He wanted to help. He wanted to get help with his quiz or something like that. So as long as he could pass to get out, finish his education. That's the whole point, right? But it's really tiring. I'm starting to fall apart here. But I must persevere. That's the whole point of being Christian, is that you push forward. Where's my pencil case? Oh well, Journey of the Faith. Lesson 1. Roadmap. Bus schedule to take the express bus to heaven. I say it's a bus schedule because it looks like a bus schedule. When you take Greyhound or you take the Calgary C train or Calgary Trans, they sort of same. As I almost say, take the buses from what time to what time. It'll show you the time it takes from what time to what time. Point A to point B, she meant to say, but so because the RCIA our RCIA class was so late to give us these manuals, I am kind of a little bit far behind. So we'll look under Q. So it was supposed to be January 17th. This is February, the first week of February. January 17th. We're supposed to. The schedule was structure topic. Startup meeting, welcome introductions and processes. Cathecus teacher is Louise. Q1 and also Q2. So Q1, Journey of Faith. So we're gonna write down in our little journal here, because God blessed me with a brain that doesn't work. But He works in mysterious ways, and my brain works in other ways. I wish I worked like a regular person so I can actually get ahead of life, but thou shalt not covet, right? So, Journey of Faith text. But no, I'm glad I went this way because I've never met most of my people that I've met on the Facebook, most of the awesome people that I've met in my adventures. If I haven't gone a certain route, if I haven't gone to a schizo class, I would have met a good friend of mine, Alex. Journal of Faith reading, Q1, page 1. February 6th. February 6th, 2008. 2018. One of these will ever become crazy artifacts by my family years from now, if they survive, and if I'm fertile enough, because I'm 41 and 42 and still in the bachelor's level. Sorry, I had to hiccup there and burp, but I'm human. Journey of Faith. In short summary. Right here. Jesus invites you to his church. The RCIA is a time to ask questions, and the RCIA process has 4 periods. The summary of this period. Welcome to the RCIA. There are many people searching for a way to meet their spiritual needs and identify with a community of faith. People people who feel the desire to know more about the Catholic Church and to explore its life may simply need a friendly invitation. Perhaps your spouse or close spouse, Chi Chi Thao, Felicity is another name for her. She uses. People who feel the desire to know more about the Catholic Church and explore its explore its life and may simply need a friendly invitation. Perhaps your spouse or close friend is Catholic, or you saw or read something that prompted questions and inspired interest, such as beautiful artwork. The Catholic Church has beautiful artwork. This is a story I had when I was in taking the French language as a bursary program. I was drunk one night, lonely. Didn't have much friends in the French camps. It's a language camp. It's for credit too. It's a language camp, immersion camp that we took in the summer that the government pays for, so that the Canadian Anglo-speaking Canadian students, high school and university, go to Quebec or wherever to learn how to speak Franco-Canadian. And one time I was really drunk, and this was like I took these stairs down to lower Bassville, Quebec City, Vieux, Quebec City, the old city. And somehow I was really drunk, and I had to I had to go back up the stairs. But the church, there was an open church. They had its doors open, which is really strange because I could be like a bunch of thieves and go in and vandalize and ransack the place and steal some other artifacts or something, like the artwork there. But it was open, and I found that very impressive. That I'm sickly, I'm drunk, sinning or whatever, and just being a regular bum, because I was a really drunk student. So I stumbled over to a pew, and I was really inebriated. But in my inebriated state, you can actually appreciate the artwork because you can, look at things slower, I guess, or somehow when you're drinking, things are more, and the artwork is more emphasized, and the contours, the lines, the colors are more not enhanced. I don't want to use the word enhanced. Augmented art. So one thing that really stuck to me was, here I am, not doing something I'm not supposed to, being a drunkard, wandering into a church, and it's very comfortable. I mean, it's like this warm, glowy feeling. And the churches in the Eastern Canada, Eastern America, Eastern states, Eastern states, or the Eastern side of the country, are really old. They're like 100 years old, maybe since the founding of the Canada, and what happens is you have candles. You can allow our church has candles, but our church also has electric candles too, mostly electric candles. So you have these grottos, you have these shrines to Marian shrines that are like grottos. You have these little prayer corners, little nooks and crannies that are really well oriented or ornately ornamented. Beautiful wood carving, painting, and the statue of Mother Mary is soothing blue. Mother Mary's gown is blue. She's got this serene looking face that she's a mother. She's concerned for her children, aka us. She's concerned for her son, Jesus, that kind of thing. And you look on the ceiling. Of course, the ceiling has a fresco which depicts heavenly arts of these beautiful uber humans, uber spiritually and like perfected people, having wearing very clothing, very nice clothing, well colored. So this really affected me, impressed me. So that's probably another thing. An open and it says here, welcome to RCIA. It's an invitation inquiry period. Take your time, no rush. Take your time. Basically, the idea of use the word idea a lot. Catholicism as a big dinner table. Come to eat at my dinner table. This table would never be. This just appeals to me because I'm a fatso. That this appeals. I love the thing about obese people is we love to give. Well, I don't speak for the rest of the obesity, but I myself have these huge hands, has this huge chest. I just want the world. So yeah. Of course, people get freaky about that. You have this overly friendly, volunteering person who wants to spend time to improve the community, and you don't really know what to do with that kind of a skilled laborer. So it's okay. I mean, but anyway, the whole idea is that you're all invited to the table for dinner time. It's a family affair. We are all part of a Heavenly Father's adopted. We're adopted kids. So technically, I am adopted stepbrother of a Caucasian man, a black man, a red man, a yellow man, a white man, is that right? Blue, green, all that kind of people. That's my take on it. I know it's flaky, but this is me. You gotta see the authentic me in this case. I can't cheat. I can't fake that guy. I can't fake God. You'll see the real me, and you want to see the real me, and this is the real me. He created this goofy brain. Okay? Whatever. So, anyways, take your time. No need to rush. It makes sense to go at your own pace and move fairly through the biggest decision of our lives: eternity. People rarely get married, buy a house, change careers, or move cities without giving much significant decisions appropriate time and consideration. Our initial interest leads to further exploration, helping us to get to know our options and ourselves better. You might have to feel this tug at your soul before, and only now have been chosen to act upon it. Yes. World Youth Day. World Youth Day 2002. When I went to Toronto, I was just a young man. I had hair, lots of hair. I post pictures of me and my Christian beard because I forgot to bring my shaver. So through the whole summer, I guess grew this thing out. And the summer, what World Youth Day is it's Woodstock. The news actually called Woodstock Papal Stock. It's because we all went down to Lansdowne Park. Lansdowne Park used to be the old airport, old airport in Toronto. It's been decommissioned into a big green space. So we all went there, camped out there overnight. So it resembled the Woodstock Arts and Music Festival back in the 60s, 69 or something, in New York. And that's what it was. It appeared to be like that. And the point is that I felt strange. I never felt this before. I don't know. I remember when I was young, I wasn't on anything, but it seemed like I was on crack because I was jumping up and down, screaming, Jesus loves you. Maybe I was feeding off of people. Maybe I was feeding off the energies of young. Maybe I'm a empath, and I can feed off the people's emotions, and it's difficult to try and inspire good emotions, happy emotions. Maybe that's why I am being a star, otherkin kind of otherkin. So, other experiences I went to over the years was the Olympics twice. Well, Paralympics 2010 and the Winter Olympics 2010 in Whistler. Mostly in Whistler, not BC, but Whistler. And bobbity boo bibbity boo. Pan Am Games in Toronto in 2010. And I really felt energetic. So this is one thing that really inspired me about the Catholic Church, is because you see all these joyous people, and I hope that Francis lives a long time. Pope Francis, lives a very, very long time, because he's doing wonderful work to include everybody, more spiritual joy energy that I feel. I'm addicted to that. And one thing I'm trying to get my save up for my wife Thal. Oh, save up for my honey Thal, my wife. This here is money that I earned from that I won in a raffle. The round top videos that I posted, saved up like $220 so far to go towards my wife. She's going to try and go to World Youth Day in 2019 in Panama. She's turning 35, so that's the maximum age. But the priest told her that there doesn't seem to be much of a upper maximum age. I was always under the impression it was 35. That means I could go. I'm 42, but I can go. I'm 7 years older than her. But apparently this is a lot of money. $220 is a lot of money in Vietnamese money. So I have saved up money for her. I continue to save up. I have 225. This is $5 here. So I'm saving up what I can to fund her and her sister to go, and fund myself to go. I'm gonna try and help out. It's not for me, Han. It's not for me anymore because I'm too old. This is for you. This is for your fun. I have photographs of World Youth Day, and I hope that you add your photographs, and we can make a album for our kids, and then our kids can put their pictures for World Youth Day, and their kids and their kids and their kids until the Lord returns in the year 4 billion, in the year 3000 maybe. But I hope another millennium for the church. It can survive. We've got the talent, we've got the young brains for it, we've got the technology, and I hope that it recovers from its dark past. The Catholic Church does have a dark past. Every religion has a dark past. So hopefully, we can recover from our dark past and move on. There are some good things about humans. There are lot of bad things about humans. We're all sinners. My sin is gluttony. Bloop. My sin is gluttony, so therefore I gotta burn this shit off me. Live longer. My goal is to live longer, burn the shit off of me, so I can be more use to the church, more physical use, extend my life, so I can serve my family, love my wife. Big thou, Chi-Chi, our pets and whatnot, and who knows what the Lord has in store. Maybe the Lord broke my heart so many times that even when I win this year in school, I still lose. I still feel broken heart. I still feel empty. Still feel tired. So I feel that that I need to connect to something bigger than myself. So that's why. So let's continue our readings here before I use. That's the thing. When you get older, when you get into, it's like I'm an old priest. I'm actually starting to mumble a lot. Share of anecdotes, but they have more colorful, more enjoyable anecdotes. I'm just more about me, because I don't even know about me. The whole idea of me going into church is so I can plug myself into them into me. So therefore, I talk about them more, or I talk about the body of Christ more, or I talk about something other than myself, because I'm getting bored about talking about myself all the time. I don't want to be like Roger Elliott. Roger Elliott is a very, very rich kid who went cuckoo and killed a bunch of his classmates at a university because he fell in love with himself too much. And I'm at that age where, you start to age a lot and you start to become mortal, and you need something better. You need something bigger in life, just to talk about yourself. And You know, the saying goes. The saying goes. Why store up your treasures on earth? Why store up your treasures on earth that rust and decay and rot and stuff? So take your time. You don't need to rush. It makes sense to go through it at your own pace and move thoroughly through the biggest decision. Though the biggest decision of your lives, people rarely get to through the biggest decisions of our lives. People rarely very rarely get married, buy a house, change careers, or move cities without even giving thought to significant decisions, or giving such significant decisions appropriate time and consideration. Our initial interest leads to further exploration, finding ourselves, get to know ourselves better. You might have time. Might have just tug at your soul before, and how we have come to chosen about it. Again, my whole rant about World Youth Day. I felt something in there. I felt warm. I felt tingly. I felt nervous energy. Actually, not in my heart, but on my chest, like the actual muscular. Before I was like a dead blob of meat, like a zombie or something. And I'm reverting to zombie mode, so I don't want to become a zombie. I want to become alive, a human. So that's why the church is very vital to me. Like I said, if you're an atheist or anything, if you find something that works for you, go with it, please. I mean, as a counselor, as a social worker, as a future drug specialist, the reason why people do drugs is, as Gabor Mate would say. Gabor Mate is a Vancouver physician who used ayahuasca at first to try and use a pilot program of ayahuasca with a native government to try and sorry about that, kind of gross, I know. To try and use ayahuasca to overcome heroin addiction. Then he discovered that people who use heroin is because they have tremendous distress in regards to the pain. I'll be hoping to continue to visit to become a disciple of Gaba Mateism in my practice, so I can learn how to. Because I'm empathetic. One thing as a child, I noticed that I was empathetic, but I felt so helpless because I didn't have the right skills, or I was a kid, and the whole world was turning itself upside down. This is like in the 80s, all these wars, this new emerging disease called AIDS and HIV. You got religious leaders. Sorry. Talking too much, dry house, winter, the furnace is blowing dust. You got these religious, clergies that are just, the world is trying to tear itself apart. So, as a kid, living up in Edmonton where it's really cold, you got the new influx of Vietnamese refugees, got influxes of refugees coming from all over the world, especially Vietnam, and China, and the poverty went up. Natives natives suffered a lot too. So alcoholism. So now we have the programs. Now we have the care, and this is a very interesting to be a social worker now. For those of you who are thinking of the human services, do it. It doesn't pay well, of course, because we are servants. The money goes to the people to get them help, to help them recover. And it does help, because my textbooks indicate that people are smoking less, people are drinking less, people are doing less drugs. No matter what the newspaper says, there are options to redivert people to the services they need through drug courts and stuff, because of these hard work in the 80s and 90s when the S was really hitting the fan. And now I got a chance to be a part of that. I get a chance to, when I get my master's degree, working with the Catholic Church especially, armed with this knowledge, I can finally have that power that I've always wanted as a child to do something. I was a strange kid. Maybe it was the Care Bears I was watching in the 80s. Maybe it's the UNICEF. Maybe it's the UNICEF. Definitely the UNICEF. Uh, the penny boxes they gave out Halloween in the 80s was very, very influential. I had a friend who took the pennies and kept it for himself. So I asked him, "Don't you care about fellow kids?" He says, "I don't care." What can you do, right? I don't care. Oh well. And he was a Catholic. He was a Portuguese kid. I was a agnostic, none yet until I mean, I want something bigger, something more to life. So that's what I feel towards. That's why I feel this whole thing that says here. The second intro overture paragraph says, "You might have this type of tug of your soul before, and only now chosen to occupy it." Yes, since World Youth Day 2002, I had many opportunities to go to St. Albert's the Great, St. Albert the Magnus parish, and I didn't. So if I when I do go to heaven, honey, big wife, dear wife, lovey dovey, if I do go to there, then what happens is I don't get fried. I get to spend eternity with our kids because of you. You did this hard work for me, and thank you, honey. Because I was wanting. I have to tell the truth to you because I can't humiliate you by not telling the truth. But I didn't want to at first because I was too busy studying. I was thinking, I must pass this grade. I must get this job. Otherwise, I cannot be a husband. But no, this is better. This is much better because I can actually frame my ideas, frame my thoughts. I don't speak well because my thoughts are all gobbledygook in different directions because of my affliction. But my writings are really top notch because I have the time to actually grab all this and throw it down there onto the page. That's why I have all these journals everywhere. It's what's keeping me alive, keeping me sane. So our Catholic faith isn't so much a set of beliefs, although we do have them, but more of a relationship that starts with our Lord and develops as we observe and encounter our lives with Him. This is a beginning. I may see some blasphemous things, swear words, and the thing is, I'm a neophyte, so I'm learning. I'm learning to censor myself, go to confession to kind of rewire my brain. That should have been done in 2002, but I wasn't ready. I mean, I was bullied a lot. I was bullied a lot as a kid because of my, as you can see, my communication skills, my thinking skills are pretty poor. I get grade A's only because I'm able to focus everything now. But it took me a lot of time to learn these skills, years and decades to learn and develop these skills to be normal. So when you're a student and you make fun of a retarded kid or a sped or whatever the hell you kids call it on the internet these days, sped or spurg, sped or spurg, then it becomes very discouraging. I mean, because it does hurt. It does cause a lot of damage. And maybe this is why I'm so adamant in trying to help my classmates, especially Aboriginal adult students who have been marginalized for such a long time, have took to alcohol to deal with their pains, as Gabor Mati said, indicates, and because I actually went through all that because back in the 80s, special education or handicap education or whatever you want to call it these days. I'm in a different program altogether. specialized education for disabled students was very, very primitive. I mean, Hans Asperger's himself just only lived a few years in the 80s, in 1980, after recovering all his data that he took studying the Asperger's, Hans Asperger, if you want to call it, and Hans Asperger, like in World War II, all his data was destroyed. A bomb, one of our bombs, destroys a hospital. He was researching to help the little geniuses, as he called it, the Aspergerians, and so a lot of times our Catholic Church is now very, especially under the leadership of Saint Francis, or Pope Francis, who I love very much, because he's very, very in tune to what the people need, and just slowly, in tune to what the sorry, what the people need. And if the Catholic Church keeps up on this, it'll become a healing force, as Jesus wants. Jesus eventually will come down from Mount Olympus, where all the other overlords live, from heaven. He'll come down from his kingdom from heaven, or maybe fourth dimensional heaven, and come to our dimension again. His world is his kingdom is not of this world, so another dimension. Just maybe he gets pulled back into his dimension again, as like a thief in the night, and he fixes people. And this is my dream, that I would be fixed, that I can have a clear mind again. But this is the beautiful thing. Us broken humans, us zombies, because every day we live, we die, we get closer to death, right? So we're zombies, technically. We're living dead. We're dead men walking. Every year we get closer. This is at least in my beliefs. This is the book of Casey, I guess. Every year we get closer to death. We still fight every day. We go to work. We pay our taxes. We try to feed our kids, build a safe house so they can have a place to grow up and study in, this is the best thing you can do as a Christian, is just be a good father. You don't have to be. It's good to be a super society man, but be a father first. Provide a safe place for your kids to live, and pay your taxes. That's about it. And then society, volunteers. If you have time, volunteer for Knights of Columbus. I see Knights of Columbus posters everywhere at the church there. So it's a wonderland for me. People like me and my wife Val, who are volunteering a lot. I would like to help fund the trips back and forth from Canada to Vietnam, so she can partake in, maybe participate in her harmonics class, so she can be with her friends still. We'll find a way. We have the plan. We'll actually find a way. A plan, So this is my tugging at the heart. This is what's making me come back to church. Productivity, just basic application of some of these ideas. Maybe slowly, in my little corner of the planet, my house, in my suburban house, in my little corner of the planet, keep it well maintained, plant some trees, produce air for humans, habitat for animals, God's creatures. Suck out some CO2 from the air. So it's not so much a set of beliefs, but our relationship with the Lord. So maybe connecting to something more grander, more artistic, more something that's something, if you like. I see lots of videos on YouTube, lots of actual YouTubers who actually produce good content. I produce shit content. I just produce blah 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 content where I'm blah blah blahing, and you guys actually fix cars. You guys actually go sail. You guys are actually living the life. And this is what I want for Thou. Thou. Sorry, big Thou. Chi-Chi. This is what I want for Chi-Chi, is to be the husband that supports her to have an active lifestyle, that she can enjoy life, her kids can enjoy life with pets and stuff. And I can perhaps vicariously live off that. And the church is a beautiful place where I can go and be somebody. I can go through many activities, perhaps cooking, make some food for the church, perhaps even grow some food in the garden and give it to the church and turn it into spaghetti sauce, what's it, sloppy joes for the scouts. And so it's a thing my dad did, and he had a wonderful time doing that. So it's my turn. Oh God, I'm gonna suck so bad. I'm gonna make everyone sick with. See, yes, it's me. I'm an up and downer. Up and downer, all arounders. That's a textbook I have right there. That black book right there. Up and downer, uppers and downers, all arounders. That's the primary primer of the. That's the primary primer. That's the number one primer of the drug world. How to get guys off drugs, people off drugs. Speaking of gays, I like this Freddy St. Francis, because he's very inclusive, including LGBTQ. Well, we'll see what happens, what goes with this. So let's continue reading. We're here now. All this blah blah blahing is up here now. We need to spread out loud here. So feelings can be powerful, but you wouldn't want a relationship founded only on feelings. Relationships are stronger and healthier when they're built on solid ground, such as going to this RCIA, me building a life with Thou, Chi-Chi, my wife, and me and her keep on talking on email about how we want to build a life, not just I love you, you love me, M and you, and I always get that wrong. I always call, I have we want to get a T-shirt. We want to get T-shirts that say that, because she knows I love cats, and I know that she loves the color yellow, so we can get a yellow cat T-shirt, and I'm gonna have a cat pointing to her, saying the Vietnamese endearing word for it. A lovely deer, or a deer, or a romantic deer, or a lovely deer. But are we saying it from a boy? Are we saying it facing? Because I always get it wrong. So this is the joke, that it's M. EM means like that. That you say it to. I think you say it to. If you're a wife to a husband, you say M, and then if you're a husband to a wife, or a husband to kids, you say AHN, an. So M yo, an you, anye, you. And I'm gonna deliberately make it go backwards, because that's the joke. I always get it wrong, because I have a cuckoo brain. I think God gave me more of a here than a here. Here I'm intellectual, and I can score well, and but I forget often. So I forget her face. I forget her family's names and stuff, because I have too much here. I need to have more up here, right? So, like it says, feelings can be powerful, but you wouldn't want a relationship founded on things. Feelings are stronger and healthier when they're built on solid ground. We trust and respect decisions that are well considered, shared, and entered freely. So again, base your religious convictions on both intellectualism, that you're sure you want to do this, and as I grow this whole year, I try to be I try to be sure about it. Whereas I try to build my heart around it too. I mean, why donate? I want to donate 11% more than 10%, because I want to learn to suffer. But no, I want to learn to trust more. That's how I'm trusting, is showing that I have this wealth that I worked very hard to produce, that I could produce on some frivolous thing that's gonna become obsolete in a few years, or I can have it long lasting. And I know that as I donate to the church, that I'm putting my trust. I could put it. You can easily put it into a bank and put it to my retirement. I'm putting some of that too. But I'm giving up comfort because I know that this church provides support for many people who are recovering, many people who are suffering, as Dr. Mate says. So that's what my faith is that it's not so much that I want to look good, it's because I want you to feel good. I want you to grow. This is why I'm insisting on Chi and her sister to go to World Youth Day, because I know that they'll grow like that. You know? Am I even making sense? Perhaps not. Perhaps so. But I want to be there because I want to be this. I want to be the solid ground foundation. Spend some time with her. You know, get bitten by mosquitoes. And my wife gets bitten by mosquitoes. Well, she'll get the tent. I'll get myself a nice summer tent for them. Other girls too, and I'll be the guy. Cause I'm the boy. I'm the man. I carry all the luggage. You know, just like your mom goes shopping with the boy, and then the boy carries everything, and then the mom goes shopping. We go shopping for food. We go shopping for clothes, and I'm like, I can't carry all this. So it's like that. I plan to get some tents. They get the tents, because we're not married yet. I'm not even eligible for marriage within 3 years at least, according to the roadmap that I showed you in the other video. That I'm not eligible for marriage anyways. That it's going to be a long trip. So, long time, I could easily just say, blah, go to an atheist dating site. No. I found Thou. I want to grow with Thou. And Thou wants me to grow with her. Thou. Big Thou. She wants me to grow with Felicity. I call you Felicity as well, because Felicity also wants to grow. That's her chosen Christian name. And she tells me I have to choose a Christian name, so I tell her I gotta be Meow Meow. That's because I love to play games with her. She's very patient with me when I'm playing these cat games with her. But eventually I have to grow up and become the responsible husband she needs for her kids. So this is my video. This is going to be the last physical manifestation of my old self. You kids will actually see this fun-loving me now turn into a serious dad with brown shoes and the Colroyd professor's jacket clothing. So I look like Professor Strange from Marvel, DC Comics. Then yeah, I need a glass of water. Oh well. So, what does RCIA... We're here now. All that talking for the last hour, and we are here. We talked this up here. We are here. We are here. Here. So, what does RCIA mean? The RCIA stands for the Rite of Christian Initiation of Adults, Adult Catechism. Back in medieval times, you go to the priest tells you your stuff, and tells the kids stuff, tells the adults stuff. And this is basically what it is, except we have not classrooms, but we have meeting spaces in the basement of the church now. The church is like a suburban fancy place. Some churches, especially ones in China, are hidden. I was living on Llama Island, a L-shaped island that's between Hong Kong and Lantau Island, the big potato-shaped island of Hong Kong. Hong Kong is an archipelago connections of islands. It's, it should be its own nation state, by the way, because it does have its own territory of tiny little islands, larger islands, the city itself. So that's where the main colony was, and that was the entry point of the British to go in and access Europe, Asia. The so so Llama Island itself is an island made up of roughly 7,000 people. So yeah, 7,000 people, and has its own has its three churches actually. It has the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. The wrong thing, or say about that. Catholic Church. Three churches. Catholic Church. Two more. Layman. No, the Joshua Canaanite Church. That's independent church. I volunteered for them. They gave me they found me a nice apartment. They helped me find an apartment. I made friends of them. It's Catholic Church, the Cayman Island Church, and it's another island church that's split off from the Cayman Church. And the idea was that they talk to elders and stuff. And there's also the local Chinese TMT, the local Chinese religion too. Many Chinese sects or religions have a big. It's like the Greek, the Hellenistic religion, Hellenisticism, and where you have a pantheon of many gods that are in charge of different departments in the world. For example, the kitchen god, the so-called the kitchen god, is the god of war, god of the protecting of the family. Guan Yu, a general, the spirit of an ancient Chinese general. So the kitchen god. This in this case, because we're on an island, most of the religions, most of the sects, the little village sects, I guess, or associations believed in what's her name? Matsu, the goddess of teenage goddess of the virgin goddess of the sea. The Macanese, the people of Macau, Omon, believe in Matsu as well, but Matsu has been transfused into transmogrified into Mother Mary as well, because it's the Catholic Portuguese city state. So, so there's many different catechisms, and this is how we did it. Lots of underground churches. Our Catholic Church, the Catholic Church on Llama Island, for example, was fathered by Father Frank. He looked a lot like a Dumbledore, with a Dumbledore beard and bald head, and he would occasionally go to the mainland to facilitate services for a underground church. He's retired now, but he was one of those underground church guys, so that must have been pretty exciting, just to go to the mainland. And there are official Catholic churches, but they're not under the Vatican, the Holy See. They are under the Patriotic Church of China, the governmental run church. They still essentially teach the same thing, but it's not perhaps the authority of God. Well, the Baptists and the Protestants and the Catholics believe in that, at least that in China. So some churches are now some churches in China now are authorized by the Catholics in church. They have recently updated a treaty. They also some churches have been authorized by the Holy See, and the church and the government as well. So it's a wonder. It's a wonder if these individual house churches will start forming their own sects, or, God willing, when God's at His own time, because He controls it all time. He's omniscient. God is omniscient. We learned through lesson 3, transubstantiation, that God is everywhere. So in His own time, perhaps the Chinese government will see fit to actually, as the Vietnamese people do, let religion just flourish on its own, as long as that religion does not turn itself against the government. Vietnam is more liberal than China. In regards to religion, there's even a Mormon church in Vietnam now. Vietnam is, it's more secular. It's more of a secular democracy than than full out communism, socialist state. It's more leeway to in religion wise, whereas China is all control. And I'm hoping that eventually China will allow. Hell, I'm eventually will allow. I'd settle even for a Mormon temple. As a Catholic, I'm saying there's a Mormon temple in China. This just demonstrates democracy, democratic change, and the freedom for Catholics to have their own religion, to have their own freedom of religion. Again, if the religion, the deal is that the government itself does not these churches don't rebel against the government, and that's what the Chinese government's afraid of, because there was like many different Christian uprisings in China and Japan, and those were put down by the royal governments, but anyways, this is this is the rite of Christian initiation of adults. It's a process through which unbaptized adults or older children are informed of the teachings and practices of Catholicism and initiated into the Catholic Church. It is marked by various rites or rituals. The roadmap here. As we progress and graduate through the program, we enter these little gates, these little rituals, anointed by oil, and well, I don't know. Anointed by when we did our mass, not our mass, but our church walk, our church tour. I couldn't film in there because it's sacred, so I can't really film in there. But I could perhaps draw a map. Yeah, I'll do that. Draw a map of what my memory serves. And they have in the chapel they have a shelf, a holy rectory shelf for different oils, and they seem to have labeled. They were simply have labeled this. So I'm going to go for all the different rituals: the feet washing, the Lent, the forehead ashes on the Lent, and I hope that we save up money and do Lent in Israel, in the Holy Land. That'll be really interesting. They do tours like that. Maybe as we progress, have save up money, and the kids are away in summer camp, so we go there. Well, again, this is speculation in the future. Various rites and rituals which occur at Sunday Mass, which means I gotta get up early in the morning for 11 a.m. or 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. So that's okay. My soul, why put it off? Sometimes the process includes baptized adult Christians or Catholics who are prepared to receive the sacraments of confirmation and Eucharist. So in my case, I actually have to go through the actual baptismal, because like you asked your priest at church to see if I can just be baptized or not be baptized, but confirmed and receive the Eucharist at Easter. It's a no, because somehow Mormonism is not included, and this is I learned this when I was on Llama Island too, that I couldn't be baptized in the Canaanite Lamanite Church, the Canaanite Church, Canaan Joshua Church of Lama. It's like I guess it's an independent Catholic, independent Christian church on Llama Island, which has grown actually to maybe its own building. Why do Catholic churches initiate others into their faith? Jesus told his followers to make disciples of all nations. No other ancient religion sought converts, nor Egyptians, Greeks, or Romans, but Christians. not just Catholics, are still welcome to join in. Invite anyone to join us. Yeah. But that is. But you can also say that is also the case of Islam. Islam. In Islam, everybody's a Muslim already, but they just have to realize it. They just have to confess to two Muslims that they are that one. They have to say this in Arabic. One, Muhammad. There's one God, Allah. Two, that Muhammad is his prophet. That's about it. Rush Muhammadan, something like that. I can't pronounce. I can't remember. But you go up to two Muslims and you say this to them, and then you're in. No, Judaism. Anyone can become a Jew, but Judaism is reserved for the chosen people, the Israelites. The I don't think Jewish is the right term for it. Jewish is their religion, right? And their ethnicity will be Hebrew. No. Israeli, because the name was the Israelites was a bunch of ethnicities that were unified when Joshua and Moses and went into Canaan. Used to be all these different tribes in Canaan. They're all united into one big super nation called Israel. Under Abraham, I believe. So yeah, the Great Commission, the Matthew 28:19, we are to become missionaries in regards to just living the good life of the Christian, the righteous life, and also to express to different people what we believe in. So now we're going to read Q1 Seal. This is because we believe that following Jesus makes people happier and more at peace, and I felt that. I wish I followed up on it when I was earlier, but maybe this works out, honey, because perhaps I would have married earlier, and I would have found a different wife, not Big Thou, Chichi, and Felicity, same person all at once. I wouldn't have found you, honey. It's funny how that is. Maybe your kids would have been a totally different set of genetics altogether. Maybe you would have inherited. You would probably inherit your mother's smarts. Lovey-dovey wifey her smarts, and you might be lucky that this generation skips, that your generation skips the cuckoo-ness, or I solve the cuckoo-ness and I transform my brain epigenetically wise through study and prayer and good health. I try to live clean because I am my thyroid problems have calmed down. I am detoxing. I am eating less junk food, like less cheese whiz. I'm not eating cheese whiz anymore or eating pudding anymore. Those are probably what's giving me all the thyroid problems. To be honest. People, and so therefore I'm happy. I'm in contemplative mode right now, but I'm quite happy, honey, to try and be your husband. I'm glad you signed me up for this program because you care about me. And you care about my happiness, and I'm caring about your happiness. So you're going to World Youth because I'm saving up for it. People make people happier and more at peace. Remember, World Youth Day is work too. It's not just play. It's not just dancing and music. Bring your harmonica. Okay? It's not just dancing and playing, because you do dance and you do play. You do art and stuff, and you have a wonderful. I'm going to finally live my artistic life through you, and then we go camping. We go camping and take photographs of nature like you want. We post it all online and become famous. A Catholic and husband. No, we should make a vlog, Catholic and husband kind of thing. Following Jesus makes people happier and more at peace, both here and in the life to come. We believe that the Catholic Church has the fullest and most authentic understanding of Jesus. I'm an ex-Mormon, so the Mormons claim that too, but I believe more Christianity because there's some actual evidence of the validity, artifacts, relics and stuff, and actual historical links to Jesus' original church, and the lineage does go to Peter, and the throne of Saint Peter, the throne where the Pope sits upon to save the planet, mobilize us active Catholics to save the planet. It won't save the planet. We will try to only make it better. God saves the planet. It's His planet, but we try to make it painless. That's my take on it. Try to make the pain feel less, suffering less, by making the planet less toxic to live on. We believe that the Catholic Church has the fullest and most authentic understanding of Jesus. The Christian community is strengthened by the conversion of all people who are created in God's likeness and called to discipleship. God gave us hands and brains to do stuff, and a heart to connect with Him. It's like He's trying to connect with us. I have came down here actually. I have came so they might have life and have it more abundantly. They might have life and live it more abundantly. Yes, living as World Youth Day 2002 taught me, living a Catholic life is very fun. You Catholic teenagers are fun, or in my case, young teenagers, young and fun. I should have been so naughty in life to I would have, but then I wouldn't have met Thou. I had me. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and then your joy may be complete. Like I said, I'm scoring A's. I have a near perfect record. I have a good prospects if I continue on this good path. I might have good job prospects, and I join some kind of social club to just show myself off, and where does it go? Whereas if I volunteered, if I took that time, invested it into the Knights of Columbus, for example, I'm investing in my community. I'm making people more comfortable before they die, at least, because this whole world likes to kick people when they're down. As a Catholic, you kind of lift them up. Jesus says, come. Jesus doesn't want us to follow Him into the faith blindly. He says He wants us to make the choice freely and with all information that we may need to make a decision. Come, and you will see. John 1:39. Jesus, come and you will see. Jesus invites people to observe Him and see if He accomplishes what He says. You will study to see if He accomplishes what He said. So we observe Jesus to actually live the fullness of the gospel life and see for ourselves how our lives improve. And like I said, lots of just me being more active in the community and producing more, this makes me feel good. But if I don't have the feeding this, then I'm going to be able to not the dopamine in my brain will just go down. Dopamine and all these, like I said, neurochemicals in my brain. I know this is an addiction scientist, addictions studies student. That it's like gambling. You have the joy, but eventually, it all just goes away, and you feel suicidal. You feel depressed. You feel like, what's the point of living? That kind of thing. Whereas being with Jesus, it's about being full. I'm wondering, honey, what is our wedding vow? What do I promise you? Well, I can only promise you that we grow. That I can only promise you that I'll be the best Christian Catholic I can try to become, so that you can have these things, too. That our kids can have these things, because these kids are a piece of you. Genetically, your DNA is engrafted into my DNA, which forms their own DNA. So you are inside the kid, our children, and so therefore, when I take care of them, when I take care of you, this is my wedding vow that I'll try to take care of you as the best as I can. As you can see, that's a lot of work, so I need a lot of work. This is what I do, work. I'm not a work, it's about, like I say, World Youth Day is not just about play. I want you to go there, honey, to work too, to learn, to grow. That your self-esteem goes up. That you feel more confident. Because when you're confident, honey, you are more healthy. You're not that you're not unhealthy now, but it feels so good. I want you to have this. Just like you want me to go to St. Albert's. Great. You signed up for me, because I always resist saying, no, I don't want to go yet. I'm not too tired. We say, okay, I'm going to do it for you, honey. And then I'd be a big baby and say, okay, I'll sign up. And then now, honey, I feel grow. I'm working. And you're giving me my life back. And this isn't the feeling that the dopamine goes. I know the difference, because I am an addictions counselor, student. I study these things all night and I get good grades. So I know how the brain works, hon. And this is real. Drugs is not real. Alcohol is not real. The people do this because they do this because there's emptiness. They always think, I'm the greatest boss. I am rich. I am the greatest woman boss. I'm a CEO female, or I'm a CEO man of this big great company in Calgary, or I'm a great lawyer. All of a sudden, it just blows up because the dopamine is gone. But this is beyond physics. This is beyond the physics of dopamine. This is a new energy, a new kind of not something beyond flesh. When we grow old, honey, when we turn 90, we grow old and we have no more dopamine left, then what? Right? But the thing is, with the Heavenly Father, with the Heavenly Ghost, we eat the food they eat Jesus. You eat Jesus' DNA into our bodies. We eat Jesus' body, and His DNA, His blood is inside of us. See, and His DNA mixed with us and gives us something beyond dopamine, something beyond serotonin. And these are real. This is real. Drugs are not real. So it's work, but intellectually, it's a spirit. It's alive. And I felt this at World Youth Day. I'm feeling it now, and I'm looking forward to going to World Youth Day with you, Chi-Chi, because I can actually work with you. And it's not just us. We're doing this to make World Youth Day work, to make the church work, to make these church programs work and run for our kids when they can have kids of their own, and they can grow self-esteem wise too, and become the leaders. They have good self-esteem when their dreams, when their skills are being used to make the world a better place, like Jesus wants to make it more abundant, to have life more abundant. This is my take on it. And thank you for bringing me what's the word, into this world. I thought I lost this world. I was so depressed for many years. I just played video games, just ate junk food, and but junk food, with fake, I don't do drugs, but with drugs, with junk food, anything, your body becomes zombie. It becomes like zombie on Walking Dead. It becomes the dopamine is gone. the norepinephrine, then the epinephrine, the cortisol, all the happy felt feelings is gone because you pee it out. It's chemicals in your brain, you pee it out. But this is God. He is into your head and make you. This body eventually will rot die and rot because it's just a suit. It's a robot. It's a mech suit. We are the program. Our spirits are the program in this mech suit, the pilot. But God makes us go beyond the mech suit. So if I'm trying to make sense to you, sons and daughter, when you play your video games and whatever you play in the future, try to appeal to that kind of a logic, because this is my logic. So I want to be abundant. I want to be I want this abundance. And not only that, but I'm contributing to other humans, my children, their friends at school, Catholics or anyone else, other humans, abundance of living through volunteering. That's what makes me more full. This is what makes me my joy. This is what I think. This is what I think complete joy is. This is good stuff. Come after me, and these are some of the first. Come after me. I think Jesus is saying, na boo boo, come here, come chase me, come get me. And I want to say, hun, you caught me, honey, because you had the brains, you had the intelligence, you were smart to sign me up for something that you knew was good for me, that you knew would make me feel happier. And this is love. I would say love is flowers. You know, I never understood this. Like, I mean, we see these romantic comedy movies and think, oh, it's boring, it's girls. But now I understand this because you love me. You want me to be the father of your children. And I hope that, you know, with my job skills and my people skills, that I can do this. I can feed them spiritually. It's going to be quite a task, but I think I would like to challenge this. It's a real challenge. It's not just a video game challenge. Come after me. These are some of the first words Jesus spoke during his ministry. He didn't say understand me or obey me. He wants people to consider his ways and freely make up their minds. Come, follow me. Jesus says in Mark 11:21. Follow me is perhaps the simplest definition of our faith. Come with me if you want to live. That's Catholicism right there, Christianity right there. And the movie Terminator was called Judgment Day, had a lot of religious connotations to it. And Mr. Schwarzenegger himself, Governor Schwarzenegger himself, is a Catholic, so come with me if you want to live. Basically, follow him, and you don't get the bad guy Terminator, the devil gets you, that kind of thing. Come with me, follow me. Follow me is perhaps the simplest definition of our faith. The RCIA is like a winding road, hard to see far down, but revealed to you as you go. Unfortunately, Jesus leads the way. Okay, Jesus, I'm going to trust you that you gave me this cuckoo brain to have imagination to try and orientate yourness. To try and animate it. Okay, what happens in the RCIA? This is the classes, actually. Oh, geez, some exciting stuff. Most processes are a series of weekly sessions. Most processes are weekly sessions with a team of catechicists, religious teachers, catechism teachers. In this case, it's going to be Allison and Leslie. Yeah? Allison and Leslie. See what the bus schedule says. Louise. Lake. I think of her as Lake Louise. There. Louise and Allison. Lisa. Oh, Lisa's not much. Angeline and Igorama. Oh, she's an African lady. She's an African Ogorama. Saturday and Easter Vigil. This is the inquiry period, by the way. I don't have to go to church when I'm in inquiry. So I get to study. I think I'll spend my inquiry mornings just studying and then filming these crazy cuckoo shows, then going to Alex's place to watch Star Trek. As if I have time from doing the homework, because I'm doing RCIA, which is mandatory, because we want to marry honey. Although I'm going to lose a lot of weight too. So, shall we continue? Each session is a safe place to discuss the faith and explore questions about Catholicism or religion or spirituality. In general, all questions are welcome and honored. God invited Mary to the mother of Jesus, to be the mother of Jesus, because Jesus could not be born without her free and informed consent. Before giving her consent, Mary asked, "How can this be?" Like Mary, she had the free will to accept Jesus into our lives and to ask our questions. That's how much God respects and expects your honest questions. So I can question the church. Okay. No, Casey, don't play this kind of game. Don't make a silly question. I have all my life to answer questions, and as I find that through years and years of volunteering, years and years of service in Calgary, and just being myself, and being a good person to build relationships, I think the best thing you can do is do for yourself is ask questions of how you can be more of a better person, how you can improve. Just don't be mediocre. Is RCIA a new program? Is the RCIA new? We're coming down to the end of Q1 page. Is the RICA new? The process began in the earliest years of the church. In those first centuries, it was a challenge to convert Christianity because the Roman Empire often persecuted those who didn't follow its pagan religion. I'm going to assume that's a Jupiterism. The church wanted to make sure that the candidates really knew what they were doing and were willing to stand up for their faith in a hostile and violent environment. In the 1960s, the church called for a return to this early model in order to provide Christian formation the same gradual way, people experiencing and entering lasting and loving relationships. And believe me, honey, we're gonna have a long relationship. Because I want to nurture you. And tomorrow I'm gonna read Q2 and then do my homework. But Q2 first. Wait, what's the schedule say? I need to read Q1, inquiry question 1, inquiry question 2, then just 3 and 4. But I guess 3 and 4 will be less about blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Is RCA new? It's like a to be continued episode, or when you go to watch the Star Wars or movies or playing a video game, and then this Blizzard is very smart doing this to sell the Warcraft to StarCraft 2 into 3 different parts, StarCraft 1, 2, and 3, or even split up the last Mockingjay and last Harry Potter movie into 2 different parts. Ooh. See, why get $3,000 or $3 million when you can get $6 million, right? So it's like to be continued. Go to lesson. Go to Q2, Q3, Q4. We'll get to Q4, then I'll give it a rest because I need to do my homework and get ready for other human rights stuff. Like I said, I'm fighting two fronts here. I'm fighting my spiritual. I'm building up my spiritual world, my Golgol bunker, and the Golgol bunker also. The bunker is also the headquarters of my administrations against the world of poverty that's holding the Calgarian people back, especially the Aboriginal people. They have suffered a lot. They don't like this. I take this lanyard very seriously. Old Valley Addictions lanyard very seriously. And it's not just the being a student, but it's a part of me now. It contains a lot of my sweat too. During summertime, sweat, huh? Doesn't smell anything. This is around my neck all the time, so maybe it smells like smudge. If only I can give blood, then my life would be more complete, huh? Like but I can't give blood now because I'm on Tapazole and Seroquel. Well, Seroquel can give blood, but not Tapazole. So is the RCIA a new program? No, they're going back to their old oratorical lessons. Not oratorical lessons, but inquiry lessons. You're going face to face, asking questions about the faith. I'm going to try to make sure that you're really interested in becoming a Catholic, and believe me, I am. I've been putting this off for way too long, and like I said with my honey, when I ranted about that, to explain that rant to you guys, it's basically about how I squandered my youth not going through Catholicism. Not squandered my youth, but I didn't capitalize on that. And now I'm capitalizing. I'm going back to school. I'm engaging in good habits, study habits. The studying is helping me study. And taking notes everywhere. So yeah. My huge archive of Zoltan Cool as I engage in the magical world of magic to save humans by connecting my brain to God. The church called for a return to the early model in order to provide Christian information to the same gradual way people experience and enter any long-lasting loving relationship. Questions. What questions do you have today? Actually, I don't have any because my questions are more theological questions. Try to wrap how to be with my body inside of a church, basically, inside of the church's life, to enjoy it, to become more effective in it, an effective agent of it. Agent of the Lord. It's a spy movie. Agent of the Lord. How long does the RCIA last? It depends. Some people come with their own unique stories and needs. So while many classes begin late in summer or early fall, at the beginning of and at the end of Pentecost, some schedules will vary or run year round, allowing you to proceed at your own pace. Well, I guess from an addictions point of view, I will be reading Q1 and sections Q1 and Q3 and 4 some other time. It's getting late now. I haven't slept at all, and I need to help my classmate. I can't tell you his name because of POIP rules. I should even have said his. That way, it denotes an identity. The student. It's called the student. I am now eating sunflower seeds. I'll be reading some chapters in the book, the Bible book, Bible, and I'll be trying to become more of a Christian and hopefully I've eaten all day as well, like really all day. Lost a lot of weight. Hey, game. We're playing a game, right? Hey, you saw Rox Fuller do it on X-Files. So I can show you Uncle Go do it on Google files, G files. That's all soon. I have to help my student, my classmate, pass his paper. His the resume is because I can't see his resume is being written, so that's another assignment down. He may get a B from this assignment or A minus, which is good. Then I gotta write my assignment, and that's about it. Once that assignment's done, it's more reading. It's more. I should have spent this time filming. More activism. Like I said, I wish I could give blood still, but I can't. Otherwise, my would have been. I'm receding. My empire of thieves is receding. So I had to look for new avenues, and this church provides awesome new avenues to volunteer and through the Knights of Columbus. And so, thank you for watching our show. We're gonna be right back with you. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name a lot, honey. Chi. I'm pretty sure it's Big Thou. Big Thou. That's what Google Translate said. Big Thou. Or Felicity. What is a good Christian name? I'll once again appeal to your intellect, honey. How do I appeal to your intellect? Well, because you have a degree, I don't. So therefore, you're more higher rank in the family. This is the army. We are Christians in the God's army of Christian soldiers saving the planet, fighting demons. You have more authority than I do because you're the wife, and you have more authority than I do because you are educated. I am not yet. I still have 2 more years to go, or 4 because I'm slow. So, what was I saying again? I appeal to your intellect, hon, to ask, what do you think is a good Christian name for me? Male name. I actually have to choose it myself. Casey. Casey's a Christian name. There's lots of Irish people named Casey. So, this is me. This is Uncle Gogan Bass. I talked your ear off, and if you listen to this, and if you're a Christian and Catholic and actually want to see the process of a non-Catholic try to transform himself in the monologic way, this is how. Who would have actually thought that piles and piles of research notes that I researched in the RCIA class actually translates to 1.5 hour of talking. But this is very important, though, if you want to be a Catholic priest or whatever, to actually understand what non-Catholic is going through. This is sometimes what we feel like. That why we feel dead inside, and we feel alive. We're slowly coming alive now. And okay, so it's 1:41. My Felicity, my Chichi, my Big Thou, my Savannah, my Prairie, my Savannah wife, is my grassland. That's her name. Big Thou means grassland, and it's going hoo, and this is definitely going to go to be archived for my kids to see. This is me. This is me and my nakedness. So, like Rocco's Modern Life, he's naked. That if you look up Rocco's Modern Life and type in "he's naked," and that's fun, and then you know what it means. Love you.